Hello guys, today I want to talk about something really important, and that's don't play Jin like a Mishima. It might sound obvious and some people will not understand where I'm coming from, but please bear with me. In this video I will explain where Jin has similarities to Mishimas and why it's unwise to play him like a Mishima. So, as you guys might know, my main is Devil Jin and I've started Tekken by playing Mishimas, and obviously I had my pick on Jin too, but I will admit I'm not a Jin main, and in the next couple of weeks I will try to learn more about him and make a tutorial video, but for the sake of this video I will explain the very basics. So let's see. What does Jin have that's Mishima like? He has a wave dash. Out of wave dash he has a while standing 4, a while standing 3, and a pseudo electric. This thing here, and a hell sweep. So, what else does he have? Let me guess. But basically this is how most people play him when they think they want to play him like a Mishima. So they wave dash, they try to apply mix-ups. Stuff like that. And why is this stupid? And I will explain you the general playstyle I see a lot of people when they start out with Jin. They try to move around kinda like this. And they spam his hook fist and his hell sweep. And that's basically it. Sometimes they even go for a mid. And this is really the wrong way to go with Jin. In my opinion, and please don't take this the wrong way, but I find that Jin is overloaded with tools. In a negative way. And by that I don't mean that he's super strong and he should be nerfed, but I mean, if you're an outsider, if you're a beginner and you look at Tekken as a game, usually the main characters are the easiest ones. But Jin is one of the main characters and he's a prime example for how being overburdened and overloaded by a lot of moves and stuff can make people crazy. I personally find it to be really bad for beginners that Jin has this Mishima-like wave dash, because all that beginners see is his Mishima-likeness. But in my opinion, Jin is quite the opposite. He is a poking-oriented character with great poking strings. So let's break down why playing him like a Mishima is like 3 times harder and completely opposite way. So first off, let's see his hell sweep. His hell sweep is okay. It's a bit slower than Devil Jin's hell sweep, and the most noteworthy thing here is it's a bit slower. It gives you in the open it gives you more damage than Devil Jin's hell sweep. I don't know the exact combo, so please bear with me. But in general, as you can see, Devil Jin is turned backwards, so you don't get a real wall combo. So out in the open you might get more damage, but if you have a wall, Devil Jin gets more damage. Because Devil Jin has access to a hell sweep where the opponent is in the right direction. So with a wall, Devil Jin's hell sweep is better and he has more range and it's faster. Let's look at his other tools. So his while standing 4 is great, nothing to note here. But why would you spam electrics with Jin? And the question here is, let's go back to the hell sweep. The reason why his hell sweep is unnecessary to use in lower ranks is because he has so much great overloads and his mid mix-up is really lacking because his mid mix-up has a really poor range. As you can see. Yeah. If we compare this to, for example, Devil Jin. As you can see, the problem with his mid mix-up is that it has really crappy range and it's really apparent once you have an opponent. Yes. what I'm trying to show you is, yeah. So it's a bit slow and it has really crappy range, so it isn't really that good as a mid mix-up, which makes his overall 50-50 a bit less offensive, if you know what I mean. Also, it's really risky because this here is launch punishable. I mean, I will show you one thing just to show you why using his normal tools is way more rewarding. There! Just by using this regular poke, I just got a launch, because this here is also a counter hit launcher. And now think of it, why would you risk getting your health sweep blocked when you can just apply a down back 4, which gives you momentum because it's +3 on hit. This here is not launch punishable by the majority of the cast because it's only -13. It gives you +3 as mentioned. It gives you 18 damage, which is really nice. And on counter hit, this here is a launcher. And on wake up, it counter hits quite a lot if your opponent likes to mash. So, just for record, why would you risk getting launch punished when you can just use this low here? And this is the general idea why it's really bad to use him as a Mishima, because yes, he has all these Mishima-like tools. And yes, they aren't really that bad, because his health sweep is nice, his electric is nice. They're nice, but Jin is such a powerhouse of a character. He has so many ridiculously great moves. I'm not even joking, Jin is like the only character I know of where you can go into his move list and every fucking move here is S tier. So why limit yourself to 4 moves? As a Devil Jin main, I'm quite jealous of Jin, and this is why I will show you all this here in this video, so you as a beginner can try to use these tools. And I will show you stuff that Mishimas, and especially Devil Jin, does not have, but Jin has. And this makes your life so much easier when you try to learn him. Poking strings. This string here, 2-1-4, is maybe the best poking string in the entire game. It's a high mid-mid string, and the last hit is safe. I think even the second hit is safe on block. Yeah, only -3. Oops. This string here is so great. The 2 is neutral on block, this is only -3, and this is safe. Such a great string. And a lot of his poking strings are highly delayable. Stuff like back to 1. Just look at how long I can delay this. It's really crazy, and he has a lot of these strings. Of course, his Demon Paw, same as Devil Jin, is really great, but back to why you shouldn't play him versus how you should play him. Okay. He has an electric, okay? But let's think. An electric is hard to do, okay? It's a high. The best thing that happens when it hits is you get a launch, okay? But it's an instant screw, so your combo damage is a bit limited. But why wouldn't you just spam forward 4? This here has basically the same range. It's safe on block. And on counter it gives you a combo potential, a combo opportunity. Please bear with me, because I'm no Jin main at the moment. But you can go for an easy combo if you hold forward. But at the same time you can just do a forward 4 by itself and then dash in for a while standing follow-up. If you're not as stupid as I am. Yeah, like this. So this here is a great tool to check people. It's a mid, so it can't be ducked. It's really oppressive and one of the best space control tools in the whole game. And back to the topic. Why would you spam a duckable high when you can spam a mid? Even if it's blocked, you're at minus frames, but look at the distance. If your opponent presses buttons after this here, they will whiff and you can launch them. So they have to dash into you to apply pressure. Because you're that far off. Just look at how far apart you are after this move gets blocked. It would be a completely different story if you would stay at this range after you're -8. But if you apply it well, you're at range 2. So the minus frames on this move really aren't that bad. Basically the same like a forward 2. And even more pushback. Basically what I'm trying to say, this move is so much better than an electric for keep out. And if you, especially when you start out with the game and you don't have the best execution, before you kill yourself by training electrics, try to learn how to use this tool here. Let's go over his lows. Why would you go for a 50-50 when you have such great low pokes, especially down back 4 as a counter hit launcher? Really crazy. For mids, Devil Jin doesn't have a lot of good mids, but Jin has. He has a forward 2, he has a hop kick, he has a lot of crazy strings here, he has forward 4. Let's talk about his homing. You could play him like a Mishima and go for instant while standing free, but why would you go for crazy mix-up when you have one of the best Magic 4s in the game? His Magic 4 is 13 frames and a homing move. And as you can see, this here is +3. And he also has a forward 4, which is +4. So you have, and he has a lot more moves, which gives him plus frames. So you have a lot of moves that give you at least +3, which makes this here a frame trap, and it stops your opponent from stepping. And just look at this move here. It has okay range, but most importantly, it's a Magic 4, which means it's a counter hit launcher. Can you imagine this? 13 frame counter hit launcher, homing and safe. And on normal hit, you see the spin animation. This spin animation usually means that the move is at least -10, at least +10 to +12 on hit, and his is +16. Your opponent can block, so there is nothing guaranteed here, but remember this, every time you have a spin animation on a hit like this, it also means that it's a wall splat at the wall. So let's test it. Yeah, it did a wall splat. So you have a 13 frame homing, counter hit launching Magic 4, which also wall splats on normal hit. Can you even imagine the lockdown potential? Every time you connect one of these moves here on block or on hit, you're in a plus range where you can just press 4 and your opponent's only option is to backdash, to duck, or do something very specific like a parry. This is something Mishimas don't have. This is something Jin has, and you should use this tool. What else? What can I say? For his wave dash. I'm not saying to never use his 50-50. I would recommend using his 50-50 when you're faced with a really turtly player with... Especially if you've noticed that this player is really bad at movement, because you can get away with a lot of 50-50 in general. But before you use your 50-50, you have something way more powerful to open up a lot of opponents, which most Mishimas, with exception of Devil Jin, doesn't have. And it's a throw mix-up, a full throw mix-up. Why would you go for a hell sweep, which gives you like 50 damage, when you can go for a throw, which gives you 40, great Oki, and the worst thing that can happen is that your opponent flash stacks your throw and launches you. But how often does this happen, especially when you start out with Tekken? I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but every idiot can, any idiot can launch a stagger low. There really isn't much to it. People see the stagger animation and they press their launcher. But how many people at low ranks, especially, can duck a throw and instantly launch it? So when you start out with Jin, instead of going for health sweeps, just use throws. They are way safer. And they scale in high rank as well. This is something you can use in top 8 at EVO as well. And basically, this is all I want to say for this here. I will make more videos about Jin, but just in general, stop mashing electrics, don't pretend he's a Mishima. He has a lot of Mishima tools, but in my opinion, he shines at a lot of other things. Great delayable strings, great space control, really abusable tools. So don't waste his potential by doing a fake Mishima, if you know what I mean. If you want to play like a Mishima, just pick a Mishima. The Mishima that's closest to Jin in general playstyle, but still, he's far off Jin, but the closest to Jin might be Devil Jin. So if you're rather interested in a Mishima, just pick a Mishima and try him out. But for all beginners especially, don't think you can play Jin like a Mishima and it's easy, because all you're doing is play Jin on hard mode, because you don't utilizing his really strong stuff. I hope you'll find this video educational and you didn't mind my rambling on this topic. I will be making a series on Jin in the near future, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!